Hey everyone, welcome back for another video. If you are new here, hello, I am Leah and I love to help creep you out. If you could please like the video, comment, and subscribe, all for the algorithm, it would mean the world to me. So thank you so much. Without further ado, let's get into today's story. In the early 90s, my family's home was scouted for a movie production. We were allowed to go there during filming hours and watch them work, so long as we didn't get in the way or get too loud. I thought the whole thing was amazing because I had always wanted to be an actress. I begged my mom, asked the director if he could give me a part in the movie. I even got angry with them and I said that they owed me a part in the movie because they were filming in my bedroom. My mom took me aside and she said that it didn't work like that. They had paid my parents a good amount of money for the filming space. So of course, they didn't owe me a role in their movie. It was all just very, very exciting for me. The movie was a flop, but I'm not comfortable saying which movie it was because my family still lives in the house, and I'm sure you'll understand why that privacy is so important once you hear my story. It was a horror movie, and it had taken them a month to film, and they had paid for a family's stay in a nearby hotel. When they were finished filming and we could go home, the house never felt the same to me or to my sister. Our parents never got these same weird feelings as we did, and they thought that we had somehow been traumatized by the movie because it had been so scary and it was shot in our house. They thought that we were somehow mixing reality and movie productions up. But that wasn't the case. Not at all. During filming, there were 2 major pieces of damage done to our house, but the production company reimbursed my parents for everything. They were fantastic about this, and I need to make a point of it. They'd used all of our furniture in the rooms that they had shot in, and one of our couch cushions in the living room had been badly damaged. A candle had actually tipped over during one of the scenes on accident. But thank God they had gotten the fire out almost immediately, and it was only the one cushion that got burnt. And then, on another day, a lamp was knocked over and shattered. The filming company paid for both things, even buying us an entirely new and more expensive couch, because the one cushion couldn't be replaced on its own. My mom had lied and said that the old lamp was more expensive than it really was, and they ended up paying for a new, much more expensive one that she never would have bought for herself. That was probably the most deceitful thing that she has ever done in her life. 30 years later, she still feels bad about it, which I think shows you just how much of a sweetheart she is. We still have the lamp, by the way. Okay. So here is where things get weird. There was one more piece of damage that had occurred in my bedroom. This was the only thing that my parents and the production company had a bit of a fight about. After we got home, I was in my bedroom and unpacking my suitcase. I opened my closet door to hang the clothes back up that I had had with me at the hotel, and that was when I saw the damage. On the left inner wall of my closet, there were these giant scratch marks that went almost all the way down to the floor. I noticed them immediately because the walls of my closet were white and these scratch marks were black. There were 5 scratches, and I placed my fingers up to where they started and traced along them down to the baseboard. My fingers were a perfect match for the spacing of these scratches, which to me meant that they were 1, clearly human, and 2, from somebody my age because of how tall they were. I called my parents up to my room and I showed them the marks. They weren't concerned because the production company had been amazing at replacing our damaged items so far. They had also done one of those full cleaning services of every room in the house, even the rooms that they hadn't shot in. They had left the house spotless. There wasn't even a shred of evidence that they had been there. So clearly, they had missed these scratch marks, which had to have been part of the movie, right? My mom said that we could easily fix them with some paint, but my dad said that it was their responsibility to fix it. They had done the damage, so they were going to fix it. At first, the scratch marks made sense. It was near the end of the shoot, and my sister and I had gone to the house to watch the filming of one of the scarier scenes. The scene was being filmed in my room. They had really liked the layout of my furniture and the windows for some reason, and they used it as the main character's bedroom, which was perfect because the main character was a teenager in high school, the same as me. The scene was of her and some friends having a sleepover. At the party, they decided to try and do a seance, not having any idea how serious that sort of witchcraft could be. The script was written fairly accurately in terms of doing an actual seance, or so I've been told, and so I've learned over the years. There was a Ouija board, an actual lock of hair that had been cut from one of the actresses' heads during the scene, and even some raw animal meat, which was supposed to be a sacrifice. I remember how scared I was watching them shoot the scene. It was freaky, even with a large crew of people packed into my small room, and a director saying action and cut. Even with all the hustle and bustle, it was freaky. These nail marks had to have been from one of the scenes shot in my bedroom. They had done lots of filming in there, but the seance scene was the only one that I had actually got to be there for. So, at first, I thought that I must have just missed it. My dad called the company, and he said that they had found some more damage in my bedroom that they would need fixing. They sent the same guy who had come before to check that we were satisfied with their cleanup job. I led the guy to my closet. I opened the door and I showed him the long nail scratches in the paint. He flipped through this big binder of photographs and papers, and when I asked him what he was doing, he said that the filming company keeps track of any damage or mess that they make, so that they can be sure to clean everything up at the end. He didn't find any file on scratch marks or damage done to the paint in my bedroom. He used our phone in the kitchen to call somebody, and he told them that there was damage to the interior wall of my closet. And when he got off the phone, him and my dad had a bit of a heated discussion in the kitchen, and then the guy left. He basically told my dad that the damage to my closet wall wasn't from the production company. If it had occurred during filming, he said, they would have taken note of it so they could fix it later. My mom didn't want the stress of it, and again said that we'll just get some paint and fix it. And that was kind of it. When I went to bed that night, I had a weird feeling in my stomach. My room had always been my little safe haven. At first, I assumed it was just the fact that there had been a bunch of strangers in my room while I was away. You know the feeling you get when you haven't been home in a long time? Something like that. But as I tried to fall asleep, I started getting creeped out by my closet. I had never been scared of my closet. One, I was too old for that now. And 2, I loved my closet. I would sometimes curl up on the floor in there with a pillow, a blanket, a drink, and a flashlight to read books. I had always found my closet to be comforting and cozy, like my own little reading cave. But there was something about those claw marks now that I didn't like. I kept thinking about how the guy said that the filming crew had absolutely not made those scratch marks. They hadn't been there before the movie started, so where the hell did they come from? The company had been so professional with everything else. I believed them when they said that they had not done the damage. At the time, I didn't know how creepy Ouija boards were, and I'm still uncomfortable with the fact that those actresses had basically performed a seance in my bedroom for the movie. Regardless of the fact that it was, quote, fake and scripted, they still performed this weird ritual where they welcomed any good spirits to come through the very real Ouija board that they were using. They invited anything to come through and talk to them. I've become a bit of an expert on Ouija boards over the years, and one of the most important lessons that I've learned is that even if you are using a Ouija board to contact, quote, good spirits, you have to close the opening that you create with it. When you use a Ouija board, that is exactly what you are doing. You are creating an opening or a portal, if that makes it make more sense, and you are allowing anything from the other side to come through. Whether you want it to come through or not, whether it is good or bad, you have to close that opening. If you don't close it, you are allowing and even welcoming anything to come through that door. This includes evil spirits as well as demons. During the scene in the movie, the actresses never closed the opening that they created with the Ouija board. Ever since the filming of the movie wrapped, it felt like something negative was left behind. And whatever it was, it took over my little safe haven. I never got my cozy, happy feelings back that my bedroom had always given me. I started having nightmares, I developed anxiety, and I never truly felt safe in the house ever again, but especially in my bedroom. I always felt like I was being watched, and I never knew whether I should keep my closet door open or closed. If it was open, I was beyond terrified of what I might look over and see. And if it was closed, I was even more terrified of what I might not see. I knew without a doubt something was watching me. I could feel it. On multiple occasions, I was awoken and I could hear faint tapping coming from inside the closet. Tapping that turned into scratching. I moved into the guest bedroom after that incident, after the scratching sounds, and the anxious feeling that had developed from my room stopped. My little sister Sophia had always wanted my original bedroom because it was a lot bigger than hers, and she asked if she could swap rooms and move into that one. My parents said, go ahead if it was okay with me. I honestly didn't want her to, but on the other hand, I didn't want to scare her, so I gave her the go-ahead. On her first night in my old bedroom, she woke me and my parents up, screaming. She said that a woman in a white dress with abnormally long fingernails had opened the closet door, walked out, walked across the bedroom, and then sunk into the floor and disappeared. My parents didn't believe her, and again thought that watching the filming of the movie had scared us and simply put evil thoughts into our heads. My sister and I don't talk about that event because it upsets my parents. Neither of them have ever heard the tapping nor the scratching, nor have they ever seen this woman with long fingernails. I have never seen her either, but I completely believe my sister. When Sophia and I come home for the holidays and birthdays and other events, we never go near my old room. We won't even spend the night in the house, and instead, we always get a hotel. My mom always tells us to just use the pull-out couch and not waste money on a hotel, but we'll always say that we'll just be more comfortable in our own rooms and in our own space. The truth is that Sophia doesn't want to see that woman sinking through the floor again. I don't want to see her, not at all. The tapping and scratching noises that this thing made scared me enough for a lifetime. I can't even imagine how scared my little sister must have been when she actually saw that thing go through the floor. Please do not mess with Ouija boards, even if it's not supposed to be real, even if it's just for fun or as a joke. Those actors let something into my family's home that day, and I don't know where it went. I don't know what it was, and I don't know if it's still there. My sister and I still don't feel safe in the house, and when I have spent the night on a few occasions, when my mother got sick and I had to, I still got the same feeling that I got when I was a teenager. I knew that somebody was watching me. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, or listening. I hope that was very creepy for you. Definitely was for me. I hope you liked it. If you did, could you please give it a thumbs up? It helps me out so much. And subscribe so you don't miss another video like this. I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a good night. And yeah, thank you again for being here. And I will see you again soon. Bye guys.